Hi, welcome to the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy, and comment your thoughts and opinions on the stories. Let's get started. Am I the antagonist for telling my step-siblings they can't be included by everyone all the time? Step-siblings in question are 12, 14 and 15 and step-siblings through my mom's marriage. I'm 17F. Also factoring into this is my half sister from dad's side, though she's just my sister to me. So the deal is, my dad had my sister before he and mom had me. My parents broke up before I was born. I spent equal time with both parents and grew up with my sister, who lived with our dad full time. Mom got married 10 years ago. Step siblings came along then. My sister has nothing to do with them, but they have always been jealous of the fact I have her and they don't. They are also jealous of how close I'm to her vs not really close to them. Over the years they would ask to spend time with my sister. She was never interested. She never interacted with them at all. She's having a baby, and I'm helping her friends throw a baby shower for her. My step-siblings wanted to be invited to the shower. My 12-year-old stepsister has a couple of girls in her class going, because my sister knows those girls, and is close with them. My step-siblings kicked up a fuss when I told them they shouldn't expect an invite. Sister and I have already talked about this. They went to my mom and their dad and complained. They complained to me about it. Ultimately, I decided to sit my step-siblings down and explain they can't be included by everyone all the time. I told them sometimes someone we know has someone in their lives who will invite them to stuff. But if we don't know them, we won't be invited and that's okay. I also pointed out that they have their stuff they get invited to, but I'm not, and I don't make a fuss. They reacted badly to my talk and my mom and her husband are unhappy with me. They said it was not my place. Am I the antagonist? Now for the top comments. NTA, it was not your place to have that conversation with them. But apparently their parents weren't going to, so someone had to. Or were you expected to just roll over and invite unwanted guests to someone else's party? Edit to clarify, you were not wrong in having that conversation with them. You handled it very well. But it should have been your mom and their dad's job. That should not have fallen to you. I totally agree. It should have been them and not me. NTA. This is a talk your mom and stepdad should have had with them a long time ago. NTA, sure, it wasn't necessarily your place, but they certainly didn't do it. Perhaps if they were acting like parents and having that type of tough conversation with the younger kids, you wouldn't have felt the need to do so. Am I the antagonist for telling my sister that she should have gone to college if she wanted a life like mine? Hello everyone. Please excuse my grammar. English is my 40th language and 100% self-taught. Also, this will be a long post. My sister and I are twins, 33F. We come from a culture where arranged marriages are an option, not India. Mostly they are blind dates set by a matchmaker, and if you are compatible you marry. When we both graduated high school, my sister, who was valedictorian BTW, chose not to attend college. She asked for an arranged marriage, since all she wanted to be was a wife and mother. Nothing wrong with that. My parents, who are a love match, tried to convince her to at least get her bachelor's. She refused. I on the other hand started attending an engineering college, computer engineering. A year later she married a man that she met through the matchmaker. He is a very nice man, a teacher, and treats my sister like a queen. The thing is, he was just a freshly hired teacher. My sister went from living in a double income house with parents being both high earners, a doctor and a lawyer, to a single income house on a teacher's salary. I graduated at 23, started working as a cybersecurity personnel for a big bank. After 2 years of dating around, I too asked for an arranged marriage. My husband is a business owner, real estate developer, and he makes a lot more than I do. He also comes from money. My sister didn't like him from the get-go. She even threw a tantrum, thankfully in private, in my wedding. Apparently the bride gifts he brought were tacky, more like very expensive. More than what your husband could get her. The problem is that my first child is now at the age where she will be starting preschool. We signed her for a private school. The monthly tuition is more than what her husband makes. When she heard this, she just exploded. She was ranting about how it's not fair that our kids will not have equal opportunities. How the only reason I could live like I do was that my parents chose a better husband for me. I became angry for how she treats me, how unfair she was to her husband and my parents. So I laid the truth on her. I told her I got matched with a better husband because I'm a college educated woman with a respectable job, and that wealthy men using matchmakers don't want 19 years old high school graduates. Their standards are higher. I told her that her husband is a wonderful man who loves her, but if all she wanted was wealthy man, she should have gone to college. Now she is NC with me. She says that I'm an elitist star. So am I the antagonist? Now for the top comments. NTA. She's jealous / envious of your life because you decided to go through college and became successful. Also, how horrible she is to be talking about someone she presumably loves. Sounds like she was only marrying for money, not for love. You told her point blank what it is. If she wanted a wealthy husband, she should went to college. Her decision / choices are the reason why her life is the way it is. Also, it's her fault that her children won't have the same opportunities as yours. She was only marrying for money and she married someone with not a lot of money, apparently. NTA. She's so jelly you could call her Smuckers. This silly comment is the first thing that's made me laugh today. Take my free gold, kind stranger. First, 4 languages. Damn. Op. That's awesome. You're not the a-hole. Truth hurts. Am I the antagonist for not being interested in meeting my secret sibling? I, 20F, haven't been close with my biological father, we will call him Robert, for most of my life, and cut off contact when I was about 13. He just never was nice, nor put the effort into being a father. A few years after I was born, and my bio dad left the picture, my mom started dating my stepdad. We will call him Scene. Scene had raised me as his own since I was really young, and my parents have had 2 kids since getting married, 4 male 7 male. I'm fully content with my family and I don't worry about how I'm not fully biological related to my dad or brothers. My mom is still close with Robert's sister as they grew up together, so I still have contact with Robert's family. About a year ago I got a message from an Instagram account I mistook for someone I knew. A woman told me that she was Robert's girlfriend and that I had a new brother who was now 1 year old. She wanted me to meet their kid and was excited. I was confused as this woman had been following me Instagram without making it known she was my bio father's girlfriend. Not only did that make me uncomfortable, but the fact I had to learn this information through a stranger and not through Robert's sister or mother. Everyone in the family has apologized that they gave this woman the power to be the first to tell me, but now expect me to accept this child as my other siblings. My uncle told me I owe it to my brother to meet him one day, but I said I don't even see Robert as someone I'm related to. He's not my dad, so this kid is not my brother. This has irritated Robert's family and some of my friends said that is a harsh stance, but I think it's realistic. Am I the antagonist? Edit. I live in another state from Robert and his family, so the chances of me running into him or his kid is slim to none. Now for the top comments. NTA, you get to decide if you want to meet Robert's son, and also I find it extremely weird that Robert's girlfriend has been following you on Instagram. Also, keep in mind that you can still meet Robert's son and still not consider Robert as your dad. Again, your choice. But you don't owe him or Robert anything. NTA. Just cause someone is biologically related to you, it doesn't make them "family emo." You don't owe them shit. NTA. My mom and I don't speak, and she has a son I don't have contact with. I genuinely feel badly about it, but she has made it impossible to have a relationship with her son, and not her as well. Having her in my life is damaging enough that I had to make the decision to leave him out of my life as well. It really sucks, and he's innocent in all of this, but I had to make that decision for my own mental well-being. I would encourage you to remain open to meeting the brother in the future, but you don't have to just because you're biologically related. NTA. Robert was just a sperm donor, not a dad or a father. Am I the antagonist for forcing my husband to bring his dog to work with him today? My husband comes home every day at 11:15 during his lunch break to eat. His work is only 5 minutes away. It's important to note that he is allowed to bring his dog to work with him and has done so a handful of times prior to this incident. For the past 3 days I have been getting very little sleep. I have a sick child at home and I've been working 12-hour shifts due to short staffing issues. So I get home at 3 AM and have basically been up all night catering to my child. When she is sick she only wants me, not daddy, so he tries to help but it doesn't go over well. She is too. Over the past 3 days I have maybe gotten a total of 10 hours of sleep. So today I have off and my little one is feeling better, but she is still cranky and tired herself. She went down for a nap at 10:30 this morning. My husband gets home to eat at 11:15ish and for whatever reason decided it would be a great idea to get the dog going, tossing the dog around, saying "where's your toy" in a baby voice, which sets the dog off in a full-blown playful mode every single time, or saying "get mama, where's mama." He knew our daughter was sleeping. The dog is a healer, extremely energetic breed, and when she gets going, she flies through this house like a maniac, knocking stuff over and being loud. She woke up our daughter. Now maybe it's because of my lack of sleep, but this set me right off. Once this dog gets going, she doesn't stop for at least an hour, so there was absolutely no chance of our daughter getting back to sleep or me taking a nap with her, as I had planned to do, providing the dog was in the house. So I told him, since you decided to be selfish and get the dog going knowing me and our daughter were fucking exhausted, you can take her with you. He starts saying some excuse of "I didn't know she was going to start acting like that" bullshit she does every time, and said he had a bunch to do today and didn't want to watch the dog too. I told him it wasn't my problem. He takes the dog and leaves pissed off. He then proceeds to text me and say that he can't get shit done now and that I should have just stuck the dog in the kennel while we napped. She howls when she is in there, when she is energetic, so no, and it's my fault he isn't going to get anything done. I ignored it. Am I the antagonist? Now for the top comments. NTA, he knows how the dog behaves and decided to rile her up knowing his daughter is sick and you were exhausted. What do you mean exactly when you said he tosses the dog around? He throws her up in the air and catches her, puts her on the ground, and she will run in circles around the house before jumping in his arms again to be tossed in the air. Dog is a weirdo. It's her favorite way of playing. How do you handle a full-time job while raising 2 toddlers and an energetic dog? Not the a-hole. Lots of caffeine lol. Am I the antagonist for telling my mom that sounds like a you problem? My 17F mom, 40S, has major issues with communication. She expects everyone to read her mind and she never asks for help. Just expects people to offer it. I've gotten sick and tired of being yelled at for not anticipating her needs, so I recently told her that I will only respond to direct communication. Obviously if she's visibly struggling with something I will help. My goal isn't to ignore her, but just to force her to communication more directly. So if she wants help, she can ask instead of just assuming I'm waiting on her hand and foot. I want to clarify that this isn't about things like doing the dishes or helping with groceries, but things that don't really concern me in the first place. So my mom has been looking for this photo album for a few days because we have extended family visiting, but she can't find it. My mom is a hoarder and extremely disorganized, and honestly I wouldn't have known where to even start. Plus she never asked me for help, so I didn't help. It's not important to me anyway. I'm not even really close with this extended family and she's the one who promised them she'd find it. Anyways, family came over yesterday and my mom didn't find the photo album that they were really interested in seeing, so she said something like maybe if I had had some help around here I would've found it. But of course I have to do everything myself. She was looking at me when she said that, so I responded to her passive aggressiveness with, well, that sounds like a you problem. I then reminded her of what we spoke about before and said, if you really needed my help, you cold asked. It's not my problem, you're too self-important to ask for help. Of course she immediately shut me down and sent me to my room. She's scolding me for not showing her respect and embarrassing her in front of our extended family and said I was being childish. Then she said she shouldn't have to ask for help from her own child. Am I the antagonist here? Now for the top comments. NTA, you're not a partner to take up these things without needing to be asked or told what needs doing. You're a child. If a friend asks for help, you help them. My mum was shit at communicating certain things and would often just resort to vague references and lots of that. The thing. It. When we go to the place sort of thing. And my dad used to, half jokingly, tell her nouns. Patricia to remind her that nobody else knows what she's already talking about. Maybe next time there's some passive aggressive bullshit going down, you can stop and say, are you hinting that you want me to help? Because asking outright will be much more productive, and you can do it before we are both frustrated. Except it kinda sounds like that's what you've been doing all along. And she's not cooperating. You can only do so much. Having to be the reasonable, mature one when you're a teen and she's 40 years. Sigh. Sorry friend. There have been too many times where she's loudly complained about something like wish I had some help around here, and I have responded that exact way. Do you need help? Ask me then. And I'm always met with the I shouldn't have to, because apparently since I'm her child I'm her servant waiting at her beck and call. NTA. She started it when she made the dig about not having any help. Your original statement still applies. Keep telling her I'm not a mind reader mom. Use your words. Or when you see she's looking for something, bring her a totally different item. Mom, why are you giving me this? This isn't what I'm looking for. You said so sweetly. Oh, I guess I'm still not a mind reader. Too bad you aren't a good communicator. Apostrophe. I say use your words every day to my partner lol. Am I the antagonist for doing the absolute minimum chores after my girlfriend parents implied I wasn't a man and she agreed with them? Sorry if some of sentences feel awkward. I'm not a native speaker. I work from home, and my job is relaxed and doesn't require me to be glued to the screen. My girlfriend works in a stressful customer service job and most of her days are terrible. In the 2 years we've been living together, I do practically all the chores around the house and I try to treat her to like a queen when she comes back home. However, the one thing I can't do is be a handyman, no matter how easy the task is. A few months ago, the bathroom door hinges needed replacing, so I called a friend to help. Last week during lunch with her parents, I asked her dad about the project he was working on. He does woodworking as a hobby. He showed me the progress on his phone and suggested I should help him with the last touches. My girlfriend told him that I can't even replace door hinges, let alone help with that. Her mom said that every man should know how to fix things around the house and her husband agreed with her. The remainder of lunch was very awkward. It was like they were my real parents and were disappointed of me for being a huge failure. After we left, I told my girlfriend that I didn't expect their reaction. Instead of taking my side, she said that they were right because it was embarrassing that I need to call a friend to help with something trivial. I reminded her that I get nervous and anxious every time I touch a tool. I admitted it was stupid, but it's just the way I am, and has been very honest with her since the start. Still she didn't change her mind. I told her that, since their idea of being a man is twisted, I must share the same view and start working on being their version of man. I told her that I will stop cooking for her, and I'll stop doing the dishes, laundry and cleaning. The only thing that I would keep doing is taking the trash out and grocery shopping, so I could focus my time and effort on becoming a man. Now for the top comments. Why would you stay with someone who speaks of you like that to their family? And WTF does she even bring to the table? Doesn't do chores or cook or fix anything? She's dead weight. NTA, I will be direct. If she thinks really that, you should leave her, because in the future she will have you suffer. I talk by my experience. I stayed 4 years with someone that always told me I wasn't a man, and to this day, 5 years later, I feel like shit, and that I'm not enough. I'm so sorry you had to experience that. The man I'm dating is the kindest, smartest and most brilliant person I've ever met. But he's been told by his family and ex-GF that he's not enough, not manly enough, he's quite short, not sporty enough, just not enough. Whenever I tell him how amazing or clever he is, I can see he doesn't quite believe me and it breaks my heart. He'll usually make a joke of it. but he deserves all the good things. So I keep telling him what I think until he'll believe me. I hope you have someone to tell you you're amazing as well.